Greg is back with us, but Acho, should the Cowboys, Zeke, you all right? Be looking for a breakup from Zeke.
Oh, they absolutely should, Sal. Look, think about this. Like, when I heard Zeke, he was like, that outside noise doesn't matter. That is true if the noise inside is harmonious, right? I get on Twitter, Acho, you suck. I can't stand watching you on air, blah, 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 blah. I'm not worried about that because inside, everything is still Gucci. But see, Zeke, inside the building, they know you're struggling. And I'm going to shine a real light on it. The Cowboys got to move on from Zeke. At the beginning of the season, we said this. Tony Pollard needs to start getting some more carries. That's the backup running back. Then by the middle of the season, we said this. Man, they got to go with the two-back combo. Zeke can be thunder. Tony Pollard can be lightning. But by the end of the season, we saying, it's time to move on completely. This really isn't an argument. This really isn't a conversation. Cowboys fans, for those that are watching, I'm going to give y'all some water cooler talk. Let's talk about who's number one. Let's look at just about every statistical category you can think of. Tony Pollard on the right, Zeke on the left. Tony Pollard has more yards per carry. Tony Pollard has a longer long run. Tony Pollard has a higher receiving average. Tony Pollard has a higher receiving long. When you talk about both the micro and the macro aspects in which we can break this down, Tony Pollard literally wins in each and every category, and he's significantly cheaper. But okay, Acho, you might say don't use averages. I don't know, maybe you don't like averages. I'll give it to you like this. Tony Pollard started one game this season, this past Sunday, against the defensive coordinator in which many people say should be the first person considered for the next head coaching vacancy. Yeah. That's who he started this last game against. Tony Pollard had 132 yards in that start. Now, Zeke has never had more than 130 yards all season long. Zeke's had 3 games of 120 yards, but he's had 8 games under 100 yards. Tony Pollard had 1 start against the defensive coordinator who everybody is praising as should be the next head coach. And he did what Zeke could not do in 13 or 14 starts all season long. When I give you that small sample size, or when I give you the larger sample size of the entirety of the season, there's actually no argument to say that Zeke should return and the Cowboys should be looking to continue on what they have with them.
Oh, I have that argument why they should continue with Zeke going forward. I'm going to speak a little from experience, but also from my observation of guys in the league. This is the first time you ever seen Ezekiel Elliott in this light for an entire season. Let's just be real about this. We have never seen him fall down before. But in life, it's not about if you fall down. It's about if you get up.
Oh, God. Pastor Wiley.
Oh, people in the back.
People in the back. Marcellus, come on, bro.
With that little tambourine thing. Hey,
bro.
Sister Elder over there. Hey, let me just say this. I don't know if Zeke has it in him, the intestinal fortitude, as they say, to get up. But let's just be real. We can't call him a failure on his first fall down. What has to happen is the natural process that happens for every player that struggles for a season in the NFL. I raise my hand as I testify. I struggle during seasons in the NFL. Once you hit the off season, you start to look at people and they look at you the same, but you're thinking different. It's called public humiliation. When you are not proud of your work and then you have to go around for 6+ months and say hello to every single person that you've been saying hello to before, and you register their excitement and reception like, hey, Zeke, what's up, baby? Oh, you the man. And this year they're like, oh, what's up, Zeke? You good? That is something that lights a fire in every single player. It makes you more competitive. It makes you go back to square one. It makes you reset your focus. And with Ezekiel's talent and the fact that he's never been in this place before, I want to see him go through that cycle and come out better for it. So if I'm the Cowboys, I come to the realization, ooh, Zeke, you messed up. And this year, you're going to find out how much you messed up. But next year, we're going to run it back, and let's see if you're better for it.
Yeah, Marcellus, you're 100% right. You do not cut ties with Ezekiel Elliott, man. This is why, again, we go back to this relationship deal all the time with you, Acho. This is why you're single, man.
He just give up.
You can't just walk away.
Oh,
you can't just walk away because you had a rift, because you had an argument, because it didn't go your way. You gotta see if it can be tested in the fire, and that's Ezekiel Elliott right now. He's being tested. His line is bad. In the same line that we can say Ezekiel Elliott has, so does Tony Pollard. And he's proven to be able to hit that line a little harder and show a lot more flashes. Ezekiel is having an awakening right now, knowing that I'm not the only one. I'm not the only guy. But that's okay as long as he bounces back next year. We've seen he's struggled. He's turned the ball over. He's done everything that you would have thought that he should not be doing. He has done it. 6 fumbles, 5 lost fumbles, career highs. And Tony Pollard's not turning the ball over. So everything that Tony Pollard doing is in a beautiful, beautiful light and in a beautiful lens. But I don't forget what this brother has done. I haven't forgotten what he has in him because of just one season. And that, Acho, is where you have missed the bar. You can't just throw away those other seasons as if they don't exist. They don't exist, and that's not who we think he is, because that's why we paid him, because of what we know he can do. Now, can he continue to do that? We will find out when they come back a healthier team, and he has another mental state, as I'm gonna lean on Marcellus for saying, you're going to have 6 months to assess that film, and then you're going to have to come back a whole different guy.
Take over the show, Greg. Keep preaching.
My ears
Keep preaching.
Bleeding with how bad
That's a little blood for little ears. You ain't got a lot of little ears. What?
I'm so glad when I talk to y'all sometimes that I am single, because what y'all are telling me is that it's okay to get stepped out on, Acho. It's okay if she rob your bank accounts, Acho. It's okay if she don't come home at night, Acho. It's okay if she cheat on you with your best friend, Acho. As long as y'all had a good year 4 years ago, everything is fine. Are you all the same 2 men that said that the Eagles should move on from Carson Wentz? But what about Carson Wentz's bad offensive line? What about the fact that the Eagles have started 13 different offensive lines in 14 weeks at the times? Are you all the same men that said, move on from Jalen Hurts? Let me move on to Jalen Hurts. I'm not going to get distracted. I'm not going to make a hard tangent. What I'll say is this. The reason the Eagles were able to move on from Carson Wentz to Jalen Hurts is because Jalen Hurts was sitting there. The reason that so many people move on from their significant others is because they have somebody else there. They don't have to go look. They don't have to go search. They don't have to go draft a first-round pick like the Green Bay Packers did. They already had somebody there. The Cowboys already got somebody there. I'm not saying the Cowboys should go draft somebody else. I'm not saying the Cowboys should go out of their way to go find somebody else. They shouldn't go on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette and start courting several different people. They already have a secretary that they can shine their light on. They already have a new assistant that's the apple of their eye. They got somebody in-house, fellas. They got a pool boy. They got a nanny. Like, they ain't got to go on a whole bunch of different dates. So, yes, the Cowboys should break up with Zeke because it would be very easy, very swift. Gee, what else do you need to see? Zeke had 5 or 6 fumbles in the first 10 weeks. He had 5 fumbles, I think, in like the first 7 weeks. What else you need to see? He's been declining the last 3 years. 95 yards a game in 2018, 84 yards a game in 2019, 64 yards a game in 2020. But fellas, I'll leave it to you like this. When the Dallas Cowboys needed him most, Dak Prescott went down. Tyron Smith went down. La'el Collins was down.
Good point.
When Andy Dalton went down. When the Dallas Cowboys needed Ezekiel Elliott most, where was he to be found? He wasn't. So as a result, no, I'm not sitting here rushing to get married so I can get treated like y'all. Oh, sure, come home whenever you want. Leave me whenever you want. No, fellas, there is a standard. The Dallas Cowboys have a standard. They were called America's team because of their standard. They need their star players to live up to that standard. Got awfully quiet.
I agree. They do need them to live up to a standard. And one of the standards was, can he handle being paid this amount of money, and can he focus on the field and allow those outside distractions to now cease? He's done that. He's been doing what he's been asked. And when you set the bar so high, the problem with having a bar that is set extremely high out of the gate is the expectation is for you to reach that or exceed it every single time you walk out the house. Acho,
what's up?
It is a challenge when you are dependent upon others to reach your bar. That is not just on Ezekiel Elliott. Yes, can he be better? 100%. I bet you if you asked Ezekiel Elliott, can you improve? Can you get better? Are you a reason why this team has been in the loss column as many times this year? He would answer yes. He's been a part of that. But he will also answer yes to the reason of, am I a reason why we can be better? Am I one of the reasons why we will be better? Yes.
But G, let me ask you this. G.
You don't walk away from
Let me ask you this. If we had remember they say this, comparison is the thief of all joy. I fervently and wholeheartedly believe that. If we had nothing to compare Zeke to, I'm with you, G. With the fresh jacket, the black undershirt, I would look like you, I would sound like, I would talk like, I would do all the same things with you. I'd be standing on your side of the fence. But the fact of the matter is, Greg, is that I can't blindly turn my eye to the fact of there is another running back running behind the same offensive line, playing with the same coach, getting coached by the same running back coach, same head coach, same general manager, same owner, that's being incredibly more productive. Like, I can't turn a blind eye, Greg, to the fact that Tony Pollard had 102 total yards in his first start. Zeke has had under 100 yards 8 times, never had over 130 yards all season long. I just can't turn the blind eye to the fact, G, that Tony Pollard has more rushing yards, more receiving yards, a higher rushing long, a higher receiving long. Like, you have another running back that's better and cheaper. What you want to stay with Zeke for? What y'all are saying, it actually don't even make sense.
Ooh.
This is like the Antonio Brown, Juju Smith-Schuster case that you were making earlier.
I got a nugget.
This is like that. When you have something like Ezekiel Elliott and the opposing defense sees that, they're going to look at that and they're going to put everything in it because we know we got to stop him. But Tony Pollard, he's the new fresh shiny toy. He's not going to get that same exertion, that same energy from what's across from him because they don't really believe that he can sustain that. And the Cowboys haven't seen that he can sustain the durability and that load that Ezekiel Elliott has for those seasons that you mentioned. He's in a decline. Tony Pollard hasn't had the opportunity to do that. So do you throw all your ducks in that basket? Do you throw all your eggs in there? You don't do that. You dare not do that because you're uncertain yourself that he can really hold on to that.
I love everything you're saying right now, Greg. Acho has some strong points, too. That's why they're going to meet behind closed doors and have this conversation where they're going to beat up the conversation about Ezekiel Elliott because this is an interesting dynamic in terms of what we're seeing right now in his decline, but also in his opportunity for redemption. Let's be real. Let's not rob him of that opportunity of redemption, the opportunity to win next year, maybe most improved player. But Carson Wentz and Ezekiel Elliott, let's not make those kind of comparisons because Ezekiel Elliott still ranks 15th amongst running backs in terms of rush yards per game and 14th in scrimmage yards per game. Carson Wentz is not mid-pack as a quarterback in any of his rankings. So let's talk about what I heard Acho say.
What I say?
Because my boy is single, but now I found out he's single and he lazy. He talking about the secretary needs some light. When you go out, you gotta where you work? Really, Acho? Like you that dude? I figured out a lot about you, Acho. I listen to every single word you say.
God.
But I heard something real from Greg, and I gotta respond to the fact that Tony Pollard, I'm a fan of his. I feel like I'm one of the people early to the conversation of Ezekiel's decline.
You were?
I was talking about this for a while, and it's a real thing. But hold your horses here. Can Tony Pollard handle the load? I've been a backup before and was doing well as a backup, and then you become a starter, and it's like, this is a different animal. Is Tony Pollard ready for 300-plus carries a year when you let Ezekiel Elliott go if Acho gets his way? No, I'm not going there. My last point is this, because I don't want to argue. It's the holiday spirit. I look amazing up here, immaculate. You get judged by
You look good, boss.
Yeah, you do.
I can't hear you.
You look good, boss.
We all get judged by our peers. It's weird. There's so many channels when you're a player in the NFL. You could turn on one channel, just my teammates. Okay, let me turn another channel, just the people in my division. Let me turn it to the whole league, my peers, what the fans are saying, what coaches are saying, what general managers think of me, etc. Here's one channel that I tuned into that some players told me about Ezekiel Elliott, that in their words, this is conjecture and this could be hearsay because I'm not certain of this, but I'm hearing from his peers that Ezekiel is dealing with some personal things. Ezekiel could address that if he wants to, whatever that is, whether it's true or false. But we might be seeing just in this moment a manifestation of some issues in his life that can be resolved. But to throw the baby out with the bathwater, Acho, Ezekiel has too much talent for that.